Hey guys, it's Nash Bueller with Bueller Group, and the old man is back. We brought him back in. So if you guys are thinking about selling, we have a video for you guys today. We're going to be busting the common myths that people think going into, like, what does that market look like? What does selling look like? So if that's something you guys are interested in, be sure, stay tuned to the end. We have 5 of those myths that we're going to be talking with you guys about selling your home.
Which, by the way, there's way more than 5, but he won't let me do more than 5.
We'll have you back later. You can do a
fine, whatever, you know.
All right, guys, so the first one we're going to start off with here is going to be, I do what's called like a pre-list appointment, and that's before they're, maybe 6 months before they're ready to sell.
And I do a lot of those appointments.
They're a helpful appointment.
And I flip houses, so, you look at what's the biggest bang for the buck, and do you make money whenever you spend money to sell a house? And the answer is, well, there's 2 parts of that, but you make money on different projects. Paint and carpet, it's a 2-to-1 return, bar none.
Big ROI on that one.
Big ROI on that one.
And that's a quick turnaround.
That's
a
quick one. Everybody should do that one.
Yeah.
Paint and carpet. And purchasers buy homes based on senses. So when you think about paint and carpet, you get sight, you get smell, you get feel. So you're hitting 3 out of the 5 senses. Well, in my case, 6 senses, but 3 out of the 5.
We're for the hearing, so that's work. So yes, that's one of those and like I said, that's a pre-list appointment where we come down and sit with you guys, because that's one of the number 1 questions I get from anybody. They'll call me, hey Nash, we're thinking about selling, what do we need to do? And this is where you want to sit down and go through, and this is a case-by-case situation. Well, some people may be ready to go sooner, or maybe not have the money to do some of those things at a time. So then you have to look and go, okay, what on this budget makes sense for you guys to do?
Well, and what we do this for all of our clients, is if they don't have the budget, but they want to get the biggest bang for the buck, we'll actually pay for those improvements. We'll pay for the paint, we'll pay for the carpet. But when I go out 6 months in advance, I say to the folks, well, do this now so you get some enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
Because they do this right before they list.
Like, oh, my house is so much nicer now.
Okay, all right. Yeah. All real estate agents are the same.
Yes.
What in the hell?
My favorite.
Why would anybody even think this? Okay, you can mail in some box tops and take 3 weeks of courses and get your real estate license. In a marketplace where if you can fog a mirror, you can sell a house. It's completely different when you understand the negotiations, the ins and outs, and the back doors to contracts. And we've sold over 8,000 homes in 37 years. You think there's a little bit more experience?
The number of issues that we've seen pop up on
transactions. Yes. It's great if it's not a bump in the road.
And I would say 90% of real estate transactions go fairly seamless. There's always going to be some hiccups here and there. But I would say 10% of the transactions we've done are the ones that were like, ooh, this is a story.
Yeah, but even in those 90%, there's a massive difference between the way they're handled.
Absolutely.
Massive difference. And it's positioning. When you look at negotiations and contracts, you look at what's going to happen 20 days down the road. You don't look at immediately right now. And and I get this all the time. Real estate agents are the same. Really, look at any profession. And I'm not going to compare us to doctors or lawyers or anything like that.
But even among doctors and lawyers, I have plenty of attorney friends. This attorney that I had that was on the opposing counsel, they're like, this guy was an idiot. And they talk about how much harder it made their job. And how many times do we have a real estate agent on the other side? Last week, I called you up and I was like, we put an offer on this house and the agent didn't realize it was under contract. She was the owner and the listing agent.
And the listing agent. And she didn't understand it was... Yeah, I just came from an appointment just 30 minutes ago, and I said to him, my biggest issue in this business, bar none, because the average agent in 2023 sold 1 home or less.
Yep.
So if an agent sells 1 home or less, are they proficient? My biggest issue in this business, bar none, is trying to get that agent not to screw up the transaction.
Get them out of the way.
Yeah, pretty much. But help them.
Yeah.
Got to help them because I need them. Yeah. We got to help them. So all agents are not the same.
And this next one is, one of my favorites, because this is you old heads, boomers.
What?
Back in the day of building in negotiation room into the price of how you list a home.
Well, no.
And this was something that back in, the 90s and early 2000s, that was more par for the course in a transaction of there was more back and forth on list price to sales price.
But what has happened in the last 5 years or so?
You can't.
You list a home and you sell a home here.
Yeah.
This is completely backwards, and it is the market that we're in right now because of low inventory levels. Because nobody wants to sell a home where they have a 2% interest rate and buy a 7% interest rate house. So our inventory levels have just plummeted.
Well, and one of the things I tell people too is a lot of that has to do with buyers being more educated in the process and pricing. Like, it's much easier now for them to go look at Zillow. And this is why you don't want to overprice.
Well, heaven forbid, don't look at Zillow. Oh my God, please don't bring that word up.
But it is much easier for them to look at pricing and go, oh, this house is listed at $500. Well, 4 others sold at $400. So you just get ruled out right off the bat because they go, well, that doesn't make sense.
Well, and a lot of times they'll say, okay, let's list at this price. And then, if we don't get traction in 30 days or something, then we can always reduce it, right?
Yeah.
Well,
or they'll come in under. We'll negotiate. They'll just offer less. And
here's the fallacy and the myth is we're gonna bust this myth. If you get the majority of your traffic in the first 7 to 10 days that you're on the marketplace, and that's about 70% of your traffic.
Yeah.
So if someone makes an offer on your house in the first 7 to 10 days, do you think they're worried that someone else is going to buy it? That's when they make the stronger offers. That's when they make the offers that are list price or above. If your house is on the marketplace for 30 days, they're not worried. They're going to make you a lower offer. And even if you reduce your price, they're even going to make you a lower offer than that. So that's called chasing the marketplace. So you list at the correct price as high as you possibly can, but don't mess up, because that initial surge is so important.
Yeah, your chances of a full price offer really diminish after that first week on the market. And it still happens.
Sometimes 15, 20 days. Sometimes I get that second weekend.
We do see it happen.
I see the second weekend.
I would say the bulk of full price or over full price offers
it's the first 2 weekends.
Yeah, the first
2 weeks.
Yeah, first weekend or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What's our next one?
FSBOs.
This is my favorite to call.
But FSBOs also go along with when I hear agents say that they sold the house the first day it was on the marketplace. Both of them. They're just losing money.
I hate it.
They're truly losing money.
Yeah.
And with a FSBO, I get it. You're not paying commissions.
Well, there's a very easy dollar value to associate with that because they go 6%. I save 6%.
Well, first of all, that 6% boat floated a long time ago.
Yes. Okay. But again, the general public, there is this perception that by doing it for sale by owner, I'm saving the 6%.
Yes.
I don't have to pay that. It's like, so I sold for 6% more. Well, what does that really cost?
The studies tell me that for sale by owners sell for 86% of what is sold through a realtor. That's what the studies say. That's a lot of money. I don't know where those studies are from. I can actually document that study or those studies.
Texas A&M School of Real Estate.
The fact of the matter is, if you sell for sale by owner, if lucky, you get one offer, you're negotiating with one party. It's an emotional negotiation because you have buyer and seller negotiating with each other. On the multiple listing service, 42,000 realtors in Dallas who can bring you an offer. Now, if you get 10 offers and I sell over list price, do you think I'm going to pay for myself? I'm going to more than pay for myself. So this goes along with realtors. Do you ever see a realtor that I sold the house the first hour it was on the market?
Or off market. I have a client that wants to buy your house. Can we just go ahead and pop through and we'll give you an offer?
Oh my God. When we have a month's supply of inventory, which is what we have in the marketplace right now, which is little to none, strong seller's market, why would you not give the marketplace 4 or 5 days so everyone can see your house? Why would you sell to the first person that will pay you full price,
which is great,
when you can make $20,000 more? There's a reason why we sold our clients the houses for $5.98 a square foot higher, because we don't do stupid things like that.
We don't do that here.
And last but not least, actually I think this one goes a long way.
There's way more than this. He's just cutting this stuff off with this number.
The last one, because I think this is one that people don't fully appreciate, because there's definitely a piece of real estate it's a very emotional piece, and that's, when you walk into a home that's staged and has furniture and pictures, and again, we'll talk about having family pictures and stuff up, because that was an older school thought was take everything down.
You know what idiots do that? You know what realtors? Why would they tell clients to take all of their personal pictures Yes, don't have a whole wall of
don't have the crazy grandma, the 100 pictures all over a single. Don't do that.
But 85% of the time we sell to the wife, and so women buy an emotion, and so do men, by the way. Both buy.
But there isn't. I mean,
but
if we go preview a home, there's a difference between a home that has because it's a home.
It's a home versus a house.
Yes, a house is a vacant. If you walk into a house,
Bingo.
it's like, oh, it's vacant. It's 4 walls and a roof. Cool. This is what it is.
Not a lot of emotion to it.
Not a lot of emotion. Whereas a home where you see, and it also helps buyers. If they walk into a living room, if they see where your couch and your TV is, it helps them build that mental image of like, oh, I could do this or this, and I could.
We call that nesting.
Yeah.
So if somebody walks in and they feel like they're home and they nest, look at the emotion, look at the ties that are there.
Yeah.
And as much as everybody wants to look at numbers and working out, appraisals and all that stuff and values on home,
which is all very important. I mean, those are all a huge part of the business.
It's all important, but the sale of home is emotion. Period. It's emotional. And it has been for us every single time that we bought houses through the years. And we built most of our homes, but even then, it's emotional. Buying and selling homes are emotional. Everybody thinks staging a house costs this massive amount of money. Last year, the average person spent $400 on staging a home. And we have a professional stager that's on our staff. Happens to be my ex-wife, Darla.
I think people have this conception staging means there's going to be a company that comes in and you move all your stuff out and they're going to come put all this new furniture in.
And it could be if you want to go to the extreme, but for the most part,
it's your stuff. We just help to do it in a way that makes sense.
And declutter it and make rooms open, not close. I mean,
have the back of a couch.
That's it. To the opening of a room. That's staging. But you're presenting a product. Your home is a product.
Yep.
And that's what our job is, to make sure that we present it well.
Well, guys, thank you for staying to the end. If you guys like the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And I'm not staring at the camera this time.
We'll be back hopefully down the road. See you guys in the next one.